Roger and Hamstein's South Pacific. Just as pantomime and ballet have developed ways of telling stories without words, so have record albums like this one created in recent years the newer art of telling a story to the ear without benefit of what the eye can see.
Are they suggesting they created the audio format? This media is sound. Have you heard of it?
Also, check out, 1960s Bruce Willis.
Wow. Wow.
When a medium of entertainment approaches us through only one of our senses, it automatically demands us more attention.
Like Daredevil.
More contribution from our own imagination to compensate for the sense we are not permitted to use.
Like Daredevil.
Kids these days with the TVs and the video screens and the Nintendos.
Kids these days, they don't just sit there. They don't just sit there and listen. They always got to have something in their hands. Always with the hands.
Why are you smoking?
Because it's ironic. Because this character, she's using her hands.
Okay. Very good. Where was I?
I know. Kids these days.
The third sentence?
Yeah. If one has already seen the film South Pacific, one can recapture to a degree the appearance of the characters as they sang, the emotions they portrayed, and the backgrounds against which they performed.
This is a soundtrack.
Affirmative.
Got it.
If one has not seen the picture, then one can conjure up from their own fund of experiences and fancies and desires what he thinks the characters should look like, how he thinks they should be portraying their roles, and where he thinks the scene should be and where the songs are sung.
No love for the ladies. What he thinks.
Paragraph 3 really sorts this out. This is a soundtrack album.
This is a third grade book report. This whole thing.
Yeah.
Defining sound, what it's like to close your eyes and listen.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Their thesis to this whole thing didn't show up until the third paragraph. I don't know how good that is.
Yeah, C+. To be clear, that means when you play it, you are hearing the songs sung exactly as they are sung in the picture. On the soundstage of 20th Century Fox Studios in Hollywood, Alfred Newman conducted his orchestra with the care and the command for which he is noted. Classic Alfred Newman.
Alfred.
He too had been working with the singers on dramatic interpretations. As they made these tracks, he was watching them and listening to them. And as we all know...
Wait a minute, he got to use both senses?
That's what I was about to say.
Son of a...
Greedy bastard.
Two-way street, huh?
You can only listen to it.
Little column A, little column B. Great deal of what the characters are feeling in their hearts can be heard in their voices. There's something more here than mere singing. The orchestra.
Sure, yeah, the instruments. Yeah, we get
Right.
it. We get it.
Yeah. If you're familiar with the show score of South Pacific, will discover a new musical number in this collection. It is called My Girl Back Home. Okay. Bonus track. Not in the movie.
Ooh, my girl back home. That's how it goes, right?
Sure.
No, my girl back home.
Was it Will Ferrell that did Rogers and who was it? Robert Goulet. Robert Goulet when he did Thong Song.
Yes. We might have to start doing surveys before we do these episodes. The album we did last night, or last week, was Robert Goulet's Begin to Love.
Day late, $1 short. I could have done some homework. I could have done...
Yeah. Dave did ask Mark. He's like, what do I need to know? I was like, bring a drink.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yep. Strictly speaking, it is not new because it was written for the original production. The necessity of cutting the show down to a reasonable playing time focused on us to eliminate this song before it was ever tried on the audience. Or at least the Snyder cut. We have always been a little wistful about this and wondered whether it was a wise decision. We have restored the song to the score of the film version. We believe it adds value to the story. It emphasizes the plight of Cable and Nellie, who, like so many young Americans during World War II, found themselves in strange places, leading lives for which they had never been prepared.
It's like Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett in Pearl Harbor.
That's
what damn playing.
The titular World War II film. In common with most authors and composers, we are inclined to be hypercritical when our songs are being performed. We make this confession in order to add weight to our endorsement of these soundtracks. If we could have this whole score re-recorded, the corrections we would suggest would be negligible. We are very happy to have in our possession an oral document of South Pacific, so complete and so satisfying as we find this one. Richard Rodgers, Oscar Hammerstein II. Dave, you asked how we come by these records, and we shared that we peruse the bottom shelf of record stores and thrift stores. So I have in my possession 2 copies of South Pacific.
Oh, you fool.
Idiot.
Wow. You might be the only person with 2 copies of that album. Ever.
So it's also about to turn into a highlights magazine. They're different.
Oh, no. This is the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Living Stereo versus RCA Victor.
Printed in the same year?
No, they're back to back. Okay.
Yeah. Almost all the text is the same. There is a different sort of like number in this corner. The text is realigned slightly. Like, you know how in Word, if you add a picture, you know, in the words, it's kind of that happened. But almost everything else is the same. This one is, they're both RCA Victor.
Yeah, I saw something in the upper right-hand corner that was a touch.
Living Stereo.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Living
Like,
Stereo.
it's literally the one thing I narrated.
That was the fun little journey we went on.